Well, for the trade talks this week, nothing significant is going to happen. That said, the markets are likely going to take it as a positive and, in my view, overreact because we're not going to know if those structural changes need to take place. The U.S. wants to see structural changes. At least Ambassador Lighthizer, right, the U.S. Trade Representative, and Peter Navarro want to see those structural changes. That can't happen. It can't happen by March 1st. But because the atmospherics around these trade talks are likely to be very positive, especially when President Trump meets Liu He, the market is going to take that as a sign that progress is being made. But there is still a very long way to go.
The clock is ticking to early March. March the 2nd is going to be the key date. So Trump is a self-proclaimed tariff man. He said trade wars are easy to win. Regardless of the outcome in Washington, he's going to continue to push a hard line. And that means, does it, on March the 2nd, tariffs go from 10 to 25%. He ups the ante regardless of what happens.
Well, he could up the ante or he could maintain the status quo. Remember, there is $250 billion of Chinese goods are being tariffed now. $50 billion at 25%, $200 billion at 10%. They're supposed to go up, that $200 billion is supposed to go from 10 to 25% on March 2nd. So the question is, do we see a continued cessation of hostilities maintaining that 10% on the $200 billion? Do we see it rise to 25% or do we see them taken off? It really could go in any direction right now. And of course, President Trump, as the greatest reality president of all time, is going to keep us in suspense until the last minute.
Hadley.
Steve, it's Hadley out in Abu Dhabi. I just have a quick question for you on terms of what this actually means for President Trump himself, because we've seen him moving through this government shutdown. The rhetoric has been very, very high, but in terms of what he's actually been able to achieve post-government shutdown, what kind of a position does this leave him in? Because various reports about the billions of dollars lost to the government, lost to the U.S. economy during this shutdown, he doesn't seem to be in a very powerful position as a negotiator.
Well, that's the interesting question, because for the first time as president, when he came up against Nancy Pelosi, he was dealing with somebody as powerful as he was. You know, in the United States, we have co-equal branches of government. He never had to deal with an equal. When the U.S. negotiates with Mexico, with Canada, with Korea, it does so from a position of strength because of the size of the economy. But when he had to deal with Nancy Pelosi, his equal, you saw what happened. He caved and gave in to the same terms that he had before the start of the negotiation. The question with the U.S. and China is who's in a position of strength? President Trump thinks he's in a position of strength because of where the Chinese economy is right now. If he truly is in a position of strength, then we're going to see a negotiated deal that is going to skew towards the U.S. It means China's going to have to take some significant action to move away from being a state-driven economy. That foreign investment law is a start, but the U.S. is going to want to see real enforcement. If, on the other hand, Xi and Trump are equals for this negotiation, then maybe we'll just see this peter out and we'll get some cosmetic changes. We'll get the Chinese will buy some more soybeans and LNG and other materials, and the tariffs that are there will come down.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.